Is it recording?
If you hit that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, here we have a nice little habitat of some red-legged tree frogs, right? They are the same They're the same species as the Pacific coarse frogs and different subspecies, but they should have similar habitats. And this is a nice little habitat that we found on Maury Point. I'm gonna try to get one of these frogs in there in the video. There's one right over here. I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me try to point it out. It's right around there. I think it's pretty visible. Yeah. So that's a nice little frog. Apparently there's another bigger one there. Where's the bigger one?
Right under here, and there's a bridge.
Yeah, I can't see it, but there are some big frogs there, and what we want to do is we want to make note of their habitat, what kind of plants these are. So we see a couple of different species of plants nearby, and we're not fully sure which one are actually necessary for the frogs to survive, but this one looks like it's right in the pond, and I'm assuming that the closer it is, that the more it's a part of their habitat. Does that make sense? The closer it is to the pond.
Yeah.
Okay, there's these ones. We're gonna look these up. We have a list of plants that are usually around these habitats, and we have their names. So once we go back, we're gonna try to figure out what kind of plants these are. There's some over here. We're gonna take a couple of pictures of these. Here we don't see that many plants actually inside of the pond, but we see a lot of on the periphery. So there's some tree branches. This is a very muddy area around. There's a lot of trash here, which is really sad, and I'm not sure what kind of effects this has on the frogs themselves, whether it's actually bad for them, but this is what we have. There's the other half of the pond behind that little dirt, that tree branches over there. Do you think trees and branches might be a part of their habitat, might be something essential?
I think so.
There are in our parking lot, see the habitat that we're trying to build, there are a lot of trees and that kind of stuff there. So I think that it makes sense that there was a habitat there, and we just need to see whether we have these same plants or similar plants there so that it could work.
And
Here's some. What did you say?
There's 2 more frogs over there. See them? On the dirt. Not in the water.
Yeah, I think.
There's one, and then above it.
We're in the video. Yeah, they're hard to see by the camera, but we are finding a couple of frogs around, so we can assume that this is a very regular habitat for these frogs to come to and live. We're gonna try to find some tadpoles to see if they actually lay babies here and if they mate here, and what kind of how essential these habitats are to the frogs. But yeah, these are all the different plants that exist around the area. Back there too, we're gonna try to find some more habitats like these around and see if there are similar or the same plants that exist on those habitats as well. And if that is the case, then we can assume that that these plants might be necessary for these kind of frogs.
Note the temperature too.
The temperature is around
62,
63 degrees. What time is it?
110.
110. Yeah, so we are finding frogs for the most part on the periphery, not as much as inside the pond themselves. And so far we found how many? About 4 or 5? Around 4 or 5 frogs. So maybe this is an ideal number of frogs for a habitat this size, or maybe it doesn't matter, but We're gonna look at other habitats, and if the population size is the same as this one and if the plants are the same as this one, then I think we can make some pretty nice assumptions about what we need to have, what number of frogs and what kind of plants and what kind of temperature, etc. we need to have on our parking lot C. So yeah, see you next time.